We humans are full of energy centers through which energy flows to all parts of our body and psyche. And when these become blocked, imbalances appear in all areas of our life and our health. Today, you will discover the state of yours through a very practical and simple technique. But first, join me to understand what chakras really are. You see, chakras, as I was saying, are energy centers through which our body absorbs, expels, and also distributes energy. And it doesn't distribute it just any way. Each of these chakras or energy centers distributes it to very specific parts of our body or psychology. For example, the solar plexus chakra, located here at the diaphragm, distributes energy to all our internal organs, such as the digestive system and others. And not only that, but it also absorbs the energy needed to nourish our emotions. In other words, if a person suffers from emotional imbalances, they will always tend to have the solar plexus chakra and the heart chakra blocked, which are the ones primarily responsible for nourishing the entire emotional side. Then we have the root chakra, located at the tailbone, which nourishes the entire muscular and skeletal system, as we will see now. When it becomes blocked, not only does the entire muscular and skeletal system suffer, potentially causing pain throughout the body and even illness, but it also becomes difficult to develop inner security. In other words, the root chakra is also connected in some way to the emotional world, because all chakras are, although some are especially important, as I just mentioned. And in the case of the root chakra, it is connected to internal security, and even the ability to manifest and be grounded on earth, which are psychological behaviors or tendencies. So beyond this, which we will see in a moment, the chakras contain all the energy. In general, our energy field contains all the energy we have been accumulating throughout our lives. And that means all those experiences you lived through in your childhood, in your adolescence and throughout your entire life, have not been exempt from your current reality if that energy has not been released, especially if we are talking about fears, traumas, or negative experiences, because obviously all positive experiences, all those experiences in which we have vibrated high, in which we have felt good, have also been stored. Here, what can truly transform our lives is understanding how to release all those energy blockages that have been accumulating throughout our lives. And that, precisely, is one of the most interesting points through which we can work with the chakras, releasing our traumas, releasing the energy associated with our physical ailments. Because in the end, our energy field, as I have already mentioned in some videos, is the bridge that connects all areas of our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. And when someone, as you may already know, experiences some kind of psychological imbalance, fear, anxiety, trauma, whatever it may be, that ends up connecting to the body. And when that imbalance grows or persists over time, it can end up developing into an illness or physical pain. And for these types of situations, the chakras are the channels through which we can release all those blockages and restore a person's physical or psychological health. As I was saying, the chakras are connected to the entire physical side, but also the psychological. For example, the crown chakra, which is the one we have here above the head, is connected to the brain, the pineal gland, and even the nervous system, but we would mainly be talking about the brain. The Ajna chakra, which many people consider to be the third eye, is actually a bit deeper than that. If you want to find out, I have a video on this YouTube channel where I explain it in more depth. But beyond whether it is the third eye or not, the point is that physically it is connected to our ears, eyes, nose, and mouth. The throat chakra with the throat, if I may be redundant. The heart chakra with the lungs, the heart, and the immune system. Notice that the heart chakra, as I told you before, is directly connected to our emotional world. And notice something they say, right? It's that the more depressed a person gets, the weaker their immune system becomes, and there is a direct connection. Or digestive problems when there is anxiety, which is something quite typical that is also seen quite often, right? So notice how the solar plexus is also connected to all those emotions that are directly linked to the digestive system. Then the sacral chakra with the sexual organs. And finally we have the root chakra in the tailbone area, just above the buttocks, which relates to the entire muscular and skeletal system, which is wonderful to work on, especially when a person, for example, suffers from bone problems, such as osteoarthritis, arthritis, or muscular issues, when a person experiences pain throughout their entire body. We have cases like Amelia's and others who suffered from constant pain throughout their entire body. and look at what they achieved by applying, in this case, the vital alchemy method and releasing the energy blockage.
Hey, I was suffering from side pain due to a muscle I injured. After just one session, the discomfort went away. And then I also gave a neighbor 3 sessions on her knee, which hurt a lot, and it went away after she had been dealing with the pain for 6 months. And then, well, another thing I've also seen with my daughter who had a blockage, and well, with 2 sessions, she got through it.
I had been a smoker from the age of 18 until the moment I started therapy when I was 34. I had tried several techniques to quit smoking. None had been effective. Now I understand why. So I started treating the anxiety. I suffered from a lot of anxiety. So, without realizing it, I started treating anxiety. And within a week of starting treatment, I realized I didn't need tobacco. It was something spontaneous like, well, I don't need it anymore. I don't. Of course, by releasing the burden of anxiety I had carried for so long, I didn't need tobacco, even if it seems contradictory.
Many people believe our physical and energetic bodies are separate, but as you can see here on screen, when we release our energy blocks, we consequently heal our physical body in a concrete way. I could show you many more cases, but I think these have made it quite clear. So let's move on to the psychological part. The crown chakra, just as I told you, it is connected to the pineal gland and the brain, is psychologically connected to aspects like intuition or spiritual connection. That is, the ability to connect with spiritual planes, our soul, and so on. This is a quite deep subject. For now, I will skip it, but in another video, I will speak specifically about this. So, our Ajna chakra, beyond, as I was telling you, what many people say, it's the third eye, I don't know what, from a more grounded place in something we can all see in our day-to-day, is directly connected to focus and attention span. Notice that this is not a supernatural ability, but nowadays few people have an attention span, and that is one of the first points to develop to work energetically. If I develop my capacity for attention and focus, I will also improve my ability to heal with energy, obviously, once I have the right tools. So, the throat chakra is directly connected to our mental world, but specifically to our thoughts. If we are talking about attention span and intention here, our throat speaks to our ability to think. When the throat chakra becomes unregulated, that is when excessive thoughts, overthinking, and the like appear. You can get the idea now, right? Like anxious thoughts that tend to be obsessive and so on. So when we move to the heart chakra and the solar plexus chakra, in both points we are talking about emotional regulation. The only thing is that the heart chakra regulates feelings and the solar plexus chakra regulates emotions, which in reality, although people think they are the same, they are not. Emotions are reactions that occur at a specific moment and last for seconds. Although many people then cling to that emotion, logically an emotion should last for seconds. On the other hand, feelings are all those emotional perceptions that also mix with mental ones and basically create a feeling. For example, a feeling of loneliness or a feeling of very deep love for a partner, right? These are things that consolidate over time and truly build our personality in a very solid way. And well, these two centers are fundamental for the entire emotional part. Then, to finish with the chakras, now we are going to move on to the practice. We would have the sexual chakra and the root chakra, which, as I tell you, the root chakra, although it is seen now from the front, is at the tailbone, which is just above the buttocks. So, the sexual chakra is directly connected to joy, creativity, and vitality. In other words, both of them are actually fundamental to the whole aspect of physical vitality, but the sexual chakra is too. And finally, the root chakra is directly connected to inner security, vitality, even for those people who have no desire to live on earth. And surely some of you watching this identify with that character, right? Saying, no, I don't want to be here, I don't like it, I only want to be on the spiritual planes, I want to be a ghost. Things like that, or a spirit. I don't want to be incarnated here on earth, right? How many times have I heard that? Well, that is precisely caused by an imbalance in the root chakra. The root chakra is also what connects us to the earth, to the desire to embody our physical form. People who do not want to live have, in most cases, serious imbalances in their root chakra. When a person does not want to be in their body, they may have serious imbalances in their root chakra. And now, as I was telling you, we are going to move on to a very simple practice so you can explore the health of your chakras. And we are not going to do it just anyway, but we are going to focus our attention and our intention to discover which chakras are affected in relation to some imbalance or physical or psychological ailment that you or another person are experiencing. Obviously, if you apply it to another person, ask for permission. To do what we are going to do now, we need permission. If we do it ourselves, we already have it. If you want to apply it to others, it is very important to always ask for permission. And for my part, I will tell you, never alter the techniques I share with you because I am sharing, in this case, a simple, safe technique that I can assure you, if you perform it just as I am going to teach you, it will go well. Performing energy techniques in an improvised way and without knowledge can cause serious problems for the people they are applied to. So stick to what I share with you and really be responsible with everything you can learn on this channel. And if you really want to keep deepening your knowledge and learn in great depth on how to heal both physical and psychological ailments through energy therapy, in the description of this video, I have left a link where you can schedule a totally free consultation with an expert from my team who will look into your particular case and offer you a training plan adapted to your needs, precisely so that the goals you have linked to energy therapy can be achieved, whether they are for you, for your loved ones, or for your patients in the event that you are a therapist. And having said that, let's move on to today's practice. Before we begin today's practice, we are going to activate the chakras in the palms of our hands. Because if we don't feel the energy, it will be useless to perform any energy technique. So, to carry out this practice and all those we will do in today's class, I invite you to eliminate any distractions and focus 100%, because if we do not connect with what we are going to do, we will not be able to feed it clearly, and the diagnosis could end up distorted in this case. So, without further ado, join me. I invite you to ground your feet on the floor if you can. Place your palms facing up in a position that is truly comfortable for you, and begin today's practice. So,
I invite you to inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Deeply and coherently, that is, we take the same amount of time to inhale the tone. We pace the rhythm. Little by little, I invite you to expand your awareness around your entire body, starting with your feet in a very loving way, raising it up through your calves. And as you connect with the different parts of your body, I invite you to look at them with much love, as if you were looking at someone you love very much. Move up to your knees. From the knees to the hips. While breathing deeply and rhythmically. We continue moving out the torso. Up to the shoulders. From the shoulders to the arms. The neck. And the head. We continue breathing consciously. Now I invite you to bring your attention to the center of your chest, where your heart chakra is located, and imagine or visualize a very loving white light in the center of your chest. It is a white light full of love, full of self-esteem, and positive feelings, joy, Expansion. And little by little you feel how this light expands throughout your entire body, raising your vibration. Now I invite you to bring your attention to the palms of your hands. Take a few breaths through them, feeling how with each inhalation you inhale energy through the palms of your hands, and with each exhale how you release it. So how about you inhale? You inhale energy as if your hands were inhaling. And as you exhale, how your hands exhale energy. It is likely that as you perform this exercise, you will feel a sensation of tingling, warmth, or magnetism awakening in your hands. So, I invite you to slowly bring your hands parallel to each other and observe what you feel as you bring your hands closer. Simply open yourself to the sensation. You can even bring them near other parts of your body, about 20 centimeters away, and see what sensations arise as you do so. Very well. Once we have activated our energy sensitivity, we will move on to today's exercise. So, at this moment, it is important that you think of some type of physical or psychological imbalance that you would like to explore. Why am I telling you this? Because when we explore the chakras, we can do it generally, or we can focus on exploring how much contaminated energy is related to a physical or psychological ailment. Since, as I mentioned from the start, the chakras contain all the energy we have accumulated throughout our lives and therefore allow us to treat specific physical and psychological ailments. Because if we simply treat the chakras in a general way, we may feel general well-being, general relief, but really, if we want to heal specific ailments, we also need to focus the treatment on exploring and diagnosing specific ailments. So if you want to do it generally, that is fine, because today is simply an exploration practice. And if you have any ailment in mind that makes you say, well, this is what I want to explore today to see which chakras might be affected, and get your diagnosis, well, that is also fine. So if you need to, you can pause this video because now we are really going to start. So I'm going to propose two things. You can directly project a hologram of your own body in front of you, just as you will be able to see here on screen, and go over your chakras one by one with your fingers, with the intention of exploring and feeling which chakras are blocked in relation to some physical or psychological ailment, or which chakras are blocked in general. When you trace the chakras with your finger and pay attention and set that intention, you will really notice how, as you pass through certain chakras, it is as if your finger reacts, as if the energy in your finger reacts. And now that we have activated our energy sensitivity, we will be able to know it more clearly. In the end, our energy field reacts to certain energy blocks when we set the intention to explore that specifically. If we don't set a clear intention, we won't feel it, so intention and attention are very important. If you feel that the exercise of projecting your energy field and going through the chakras is a bit difficult, what you can also do is directly go over your own body like this. For example, crown, ajna, throat, solar plexus, sexual chakra, and in this case the root chakra is at the tailbone, remember, at the tailbone, right at the top of the buttocks. You can do it on your own body. In this case, I will do it on a hologram that I am going to project here. So I will repeat it step by step, and then I will leave it to you to do it yourself. I project the hologram, or I do it on my own body. I set the intention to explore which chakras are blocked in relation to an ailment, or I simply set the intention to explore which chakras are blocked in general. So, once I set that intention and project this hologram, or do it on my own body, I move my finger through each chakra, and when I notice a finger react while passing over a chakra, that will indicate which chakras might be blocked. Once you do it, let me know in the comments which ones you found blocked. So, I start at the crown, move to the ajna, throat, heart, solar plexus, sacral, and in this case we would rotate the hologram or go over our own body and pass through that area to see if the root chakra is also affected. So now it is your turn. I will give you a couple of minutes to perform this practice, and then we will see each other to delve into some points that will be very useful to you. As I was saying, let me know in the comments if you were able to do the practice successfully, and if you found any chakra blocked, let me know your experience as well, whatever it may have been. And remember, if you want to keep learning with me and join the Vital Alchemy Energy Therapy School, in the description of this video, you will find a link where you can schedule a completely free consultation with an expert from my team who will look into your particular case and offer you a training plan adapted to your needs.